So when I left Detroit, Michigan to move to Helsinki, Finland back in April of 1998, I basically had to take everything from an apartment and put everything into a 1994 Toyota Tercel. So my furniture didn't make it, and unfortunately there's no space for a bunch of my cassette tapes. But apparently I had a few that were hidden, packed away or something like that, or ones that came along on the trip to listen to and whatnot, but I'm glad these were saved. Best of the Doors, 1985 release. It's a classic. Break on through to the other side. The order of these are actually pretty cool. They finish up with The Unknown Soldier and The Ad on the side too. And then in 1990, when the Oliver Stone Doors movie came out, so 90 or 91, they released a whole bunch of other songs for that soundtrack. But classic. In 2003, I saw the Doors in the form of 21st century Doors. It was Ray Manzarek and Bobby Krieger with a bassist, a new drummer, and the singer was Ian Astbury of The Cult. This is a Live She Cried, the live album. I'd like to tell you about Texas radio and the big beat, strong, smooth like molasses, going through the Louisiana swamplands. Or is it Virginia? Anyway, this is a live album that was released in 1983. It's a real classic. I used to listen to this all the time, especially when I would be getting off of work from Pizza Hut and walking to the 7-Eleven to get myself a 6-pack of beer or something. And then this came out in 78. The rest of the band had a bunch of Jim Morrison poetry and things he'd read. And so they put it to music, and it's actually not bad. It's Jim Morrison reciting much of his poetry called The American Prayer. I have the book also. And then the backdrop is the rest of the Doors band putting some musical instrumentation behind it. So this is a classic. Now there's one band from 1989. This is a one-hit wonder band. They had like a video on YouTube or whatever. Back in the day it was MTV. Headbangers Ball, but the front. Now you might not think the front were anything. I don't even have the cover, but if you look, I found them on Spotify again, and the album cover was like orange and blue with the face of the lead singer, and then the rest of the band members like small little headshots in his hair or something. It was a crazy fucked up album cover. But this album is actually pretty damn good. They got a lot of Doors influence, of course. The lead singer probably saw himself as a Jim Morrison, but they also sounded a lot like Billy Idol meets The Cult. And speaking of The Cult, 1985's Love album was just a damn blast. A real classic. Side 2, second to last, She Sells Sanctuary. You got to hear that song. That's The Cult back in 85. Nirvana, Big Neon Glitter, Love, Brother Wolf, Sister Moon, Rain. This whole first side is brilliant as well. Now, I cannot move forward without talking about Violator by Depeche Mode. This reminds me of a girl at Pizza Hut, and the next number one, when I used to live in Crete. But this is a damn good album. They called it Violator because at the time there were a bunch of heavy metal bands that had these funny names like Annihilator and Violator and these kinds of things. So that's what they said. They wanted something to compete with the market. Depeche Mode Violator. It's a really good album. Enjoy the silence. And then, of course, Jane's Addiction. This is classic. Ritual de lo Rabituel. The one before this was really good as well. But 3 days, whole side too, 3 days. Then she said, of course, in Classic Girl, shit. And then it hits off with Stop. No one's leaving, ain't no wrong, no, ain't no right. Been caught stealing once when I was 5. Yeah, it's a real classic. Now, this band, this release, Trouble's first album. Well, actually, no, it's a self-titled, but they had other albums before this. This is a 1990 release. Now, this band, Trouble, they sound really good. They kind of had like an AC/DC vibe, but a little bit darkness also. But this whole album is excellent, especially the Misery Shows Act 2. People thought it was Led Zeppelin meets Pink Floyd when that song came out. Is this the new Pink Floyd? I'm like, no. This is a real good album. The cool thing about Trouble, the lead singer Eric Wagner had a gig, maybe 2017 here in Helsinki, and I went to see him. He's asking people from the stage at Kudeslinja, anybody got a joint? And somebody threw him one, and he was lighting it on stage. I'm like, dude, well, there ain't no cops here. It was hilarious. Unfortunately, 3 years later, the lead singer Eric Wagner died of corona. So rest in peace. His legacy lives on in my small cassette tape collection. I don't even have the cassette tapes and stuff. But I do have a 4-pack of Kool-Aid. I can make 8 quarts of different flavored Kool-Aid, including tropical punch, cherry, blue raspberry, and lemonade. So come to the cottage and experience it now. Have a nice day.